All right, this is Casey Russell. I'm an investor primarily. I'm also manage short-term rentals under my company Stronghold Real Estate. I'm also a licensed real estate agent under Texas United Realty. I'm trying to come up with my ad or my pitch. I want to start spending some money on advertising and growing my management side of my business. And so I'm trying to clarify my narrative, kind of work through the script. So I'm going to go through the long version, and then hopefully later I can circle back and use this to create a compressed version that's more ad ready. So this is the long rambling, just get it all down, brainstorming, whatever. I thought about what makes me different or what makes my service different as my pitch to be the go-to vacation rental management company in Houston. And my answer is because my primary job, my primary income is as an investor, which is to say, when I develop my systems to become profitable, there are no shortcuts to the investor, to the owner of the property. Everything I do is built for myself and my best practices as the owner of the property. So when I translate that into being a manager with the systems that I have in place, it's all geared toward the advantage of the owner of the property, right? And I've worked with management companies. I've seen management companies. I'm not saying everybody does this, but their systems and the thing that makes them the most profitable may not always align exactly with the owner. You know, if you spend more time on maintenance and detail and things like that as a manager, it's a lot of extra work. If you screen people, you lose business. Having security deposits loses business. Like, you could be more profitable without some of the things I do. Some of the stuff I do is against the dollar amount that I will make as your manager. But it's for the benefit of property protection. It's for the benefit of the owner, long-term relationship with your neighbors, everything. What are you saying? You didn't know I could make the ropes go back? Okay. Sorry, Asher's here, hanging out. Yes. All right, so what are these systems? There's two major sides of it. There's the guest management and the physical house itself. I guess I'll go with guest management first. The algorithm work, the marketing, the quality of the photos, that all comes from the physical house itself. The reviews comes from the physical house itself. So we do a lot of work on pricing and, you know, updating your posts and staying at the top of the list and looking at the competition and seeing how other people are priced and all of this stuff to bring in more money. Then once we book a guest, so before the guest books, everything is yes. Once a guest books or we have their contact information for a direct booking or whatever the case is, then we step back and start evaluating, is this guest right for our house? And the simple answer to that, we have a canned message for it, is our houses are big, they're great for large groups, but we don't allow parties. And how do you distinguish between a party that's not allowed? Yeah, the rope swing? Yeah, it's cool. A party that's not allowed or just a large group that is allowed is quiet hours, the guest count, and the cars count. So if they can stay within the quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m., not have more people than they're registered for, and each house has a maximum, and not have more cars than they're registered for, and each house has a maximum, then they're allowed. And so how do we know that? How do we enforce that? You have the contract number 1, which stipulates, the penalties if people smoke inside and all the details. But a lot of people don't read contracts, to be honest, myself included sometimes. So we have a welcome call that's recorded. We call the guest, we ask them about their stay, how many people are they going to have, how many cars, how many pets, how many adults, how many kids, make sure it all fits, how many visitors. There's no difference between somebody who's coming on property for 5 minutes or 5 days, because we're not going to go and babysit you and tell them, oh, well, that person has to leave at 10. They're not sleeping overnight. Plus that's also how parties happen. Yes, we make exceptions every now and again. My cousin's going to come for a couple hours. There's sometimes small exceptions, but it's an overall, we're not going to have 25, 30, 40, 50 people at a house, because it's going to get loud. There's just no way to control it. So we read that, it's recorded. Then, if and when we do have problems, we enforce it physically. We call Dexter from across the street. I can go introduce you to him now. And he goes and makes people leave. And when they act like they don't know the rules, we can play them their own recorded phone call back where we explain to them the rules. So it is enforceable, legally binding, signed contract. We've got IDs and everything. That's on the guest management side. We also have incident management. If anything goes wrong, same deal. We call the guests, try to understand the problem. We have a script for that. The goal of incident management is, number 1, first and foremost, to treat everybody with the utmost respect, to listen carefully and fully understand the issue. And number 3, communicate clearly so that everybody understands the path forward and we can have our best chance of fixing everything. Then that cycle goes to the review cycle.
That's why if it's warmer, then we can pass the ropes.
Yeah, that's true. You want to go put the ropes up?
If it's even warmer.
Yeah, put your swimsuit back on. It's right there. Yeah, we can do the ropes. Story's sleeping. And then the post-reservation call. So that's the cycle that we manage. And it takes a lot of time. It's not, as a vacation rental management company, it's not the most profitable possible metric or way to run your business. But it's the best quality. And because all of my efforts have been rewarded as the owner, as an investor first, for having this type of quality, that's how my systems are built. We spend way more man hours than other companies. We don't manage hundreds of properties with, a skeleton crew of people. It's just not a thing. And then at the post-res call, go through that script. We get all the feedback. Is there some maintenance issues that we have? We recently changed all of our sheets over because we had multiple reports that the microfiber sheets were not comfortable and people didn't enjoy it. Even though it's cheaper, faster for the cleaners to do the microfiber, which dries, quicker and cheaper to replace them and all that. So we take that feedback, we put it back in to the system. Like, oh, the house was great, except for, you got some dead bushes in the front, whatever the case is. Guest management. Then the house management starts from day 1, from the creation, the insemination of the house. Keep it simple. Excel spreadsheet with a full inventory of every single thing in that house. It's very, very easy to furnish a house off the top of your head instinctually, and then 2 years later, everything is gone, everything is missing or misplaced or in the wrong place, or it's just a jumble because your cleaners they don't have the same thought you have when you organize it the first time, and the guests don't, and everybody puts it back all crazy. So we have a deep cleans, at least quarterly, where they go through and inventory everything and tell you, you used to have 24 forks and now you got 12. It is what it is. So what we do to maintain that is an actual printout of the inventory list. It's on the wall as a sign, and it's in the book for the cleaners to go through and flip through. So they've got like laminated sheets. They can mark it on it, take a picture, like dry erase, take a photo, send it through to report the deep clean was done. A along with the cleaning checklist, along with the supplies, the closets, reordering supplies, all that stuff. So every room has, and I'll do the video showing this, like maybe a house walkthrough or something, has a picture of what it's supposed to look like, together with a list in English and Spanish of what it's supposed to be in that room, the quantity, how many throw pillows.
My hand is
You need to go wash your hands. Here, let's unhook this hose right here. All right. So yeah, that along with just a quick rundown of my real estate history, I guess. So my first house was a duplex. I put 3% down with an FHA loan, and I got the seller to pay all the closing costs. So it was actually 3%. So the whole closing of it, the whole deal was like $3,000. Let's say the house cost 90, but anyway, if it cost 100, it was $3,000. I qualified for that house because I was collecting rent from the other side. Then I went and got roommates. All my friends lived with me, and by the time we were done, they were done paying rent, and I paid my mortgage. I was up a couple $100 on it. Then I did one-off residential rentals, like 3 of those. Just built those slowly over a couple years, and no, sorry, I moved into the next house. I did another low down payment. I forgot about that. And then I moved out of it and rented it out. So each one of those were making a couple $100 a month. Then I got heavy into room rentals because the roommate situation was more profitable. So I bought Sterling and Texas City, so Baytown and Texas City, near the refineries. A lot of shift workers, or not shift workers, but traveling workers there. Furnished those places and rented those out by the room. So I bought Sterling for $90,000. I put 40 or 45 into it, and then I sold it for $280 as a functioning income producing property. I owner financed it because it wouldn't appraise at that. And then Texas City, I bought with my buddy Manju. We bought it for cash. It was $85,000, and then we put like 20 in it, and then we sold it for 200 as an income producing property. I think we put more than 20 in it. Let's just say 30 or 40 in it. Dun, dun, put your pants on. Yeah, that rope's not gonna work. All right, next one from Sterling, or from one of those, we did I bought Oak Shadows, which was a room rental, 5 bedrooms. Bought it right around 115. I bought my primary house in Cypress, lived there. I have a list. I need to do this again with the list in front of me. I bought Oak Shadows, Grand Lake. I bought the condo and moved into that. I sold the Cypress house. Grand Lake was a older house in Bel Air that was going to be torn down, and put a mansion there, and I lived in that for about a year or two. I lived in the condo because it was in a good school district, and it was really cheap and pretty decent. I bought Sterling and Oak Shadows, I guess, around that time. And then we bought Hickory and moved into it. And then right around that time was when we started doing Airbnbs at Hickory. And then that's when I went and got Schumered. I sold the condo and bought Schumered with the 1031 exchange. Didn't pay any taxes on that income. Uptick from, I bought the condo for 103, sold it for 165. Wash them with this same hose right here. And then that's when Airbnb started. So if we just fast forward to the start of Airbnb, we've got White Oak, then Schumered. White Oak's a 4,000 square foot or 4,500 square foot, 5 bedroom plus an office and a media room, so it's a 7 bedroom. We bought that, furnished it. That's when we started doing full-time Airbnb. Then Schumer is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool. Our house was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool, and people wanted to rent it. We're getting around $600 a night for it. We would only rent it when we wanted to go on vacation, so that was the start of it. And then we started rolling that money forward. Then we went to a Bayou, which we got for $220, and that's the same thing, 4,500 square foot with a pool. That was trashed, so we gutted that for about $30. Not gutted, fully gut, but floors and paint. Floors, paint, fixtures throughout, and plus the bathroom, we redid a shower and stuff. We turned a closet into a shower. Those houses now make, I think they've done like 180 in 2022. I don't remember the 2023 numbers. And then we moved out of Hickory, moved into Westward Lake, and Hickory into a full-time rental. We finished Grand Lake and sold it, and 1031 that. We sold that for 1.2, I think, 1.25 maybe. 1031 that money. We netted like 400,000 out of it or something. Well, I got my down payment back too, so it was like 3 at the time, plus back what I got, plus the real estate commission. We partnered up with Paul Nieves and Carla Nieves, the builders, on that. So they got half of it and we got half of the profit. And then we bought Lakeshore, Cherry Oaks, and Pine Green. Golden Bear, Lakeshore, and Cherry Oaks at the time. We bought Pine Green before that. We bought Barton Grove before that. You can't turn it off? Why is it on so hard? You're turning it the wrong way, bud.
I tried.
That's okay. It's okay. Alright, so we'll come back and script this. The point is, at the end of all of that, and this may be the hook we start with, the 2023 gross income was $1.5 million, including $55,000 in real estate commissions, and the rest was rental income from owning 9 houses, managing 2. So the average monthly income across all the houses that I own and manage was $9,800 a month across those 11 houses. So that's the hook for the ad, I think. Like, that's the lead in, probably. Maybe do a flex on the lake house or something, I don't know. But yeah, anybody has comments, Casey at stronghold.biz, B-I-Z is my email. You can email them or put them in the post here. And I'll try to edit this down if I can, make it shorter. But yeah, this is the... So out of all that, I guess what I'm asking for as far as feedback is trying to figure out which bits and pieces I can package into bite-size, ad-ready content. That's my deal.